What's up, Nickel City Mafia? Wow, I'm Mike Thornton. Welcome to the channel, everyone. I know, a punch in the gut. This is not the first post-game show I was hoping to do. I was hoping to have a huge celebration and just be super excited and celebrate that victory with all of you. You know, my little son, 9 years old, watched that game with me, and we just, you know, my little son's a great trooper. He's a huge Bills fan. It's his second favorite team. He loves the Ravens first, but he'll get to the Bills, be number one soon. But we watched that game, and we had to take a walk after the game and just get our thoughts together. And so that's why I'm coming to you a little bit later in the day. I also wanted to catch some of the afternoon games and watch some of those. I just saw Cleveland blow a chance to beat KC in their home field. So this is why they play the games. I mean, people say this all the time. I don't think the Bills overlooked Pittsburgh by any means. I just think Pittsburgh obviously watched a lot of film. Now, they played against us last year, and it was a very similar game to last year. I mean, last year it was like 9-7 at halftime. This year it was 10-0 Buffalo in Buffalo's favor, just like it was last year, 9-7 in Buffalo's favor. But during halftime, the Steelers made some incredible adjustments. Last year, it was us who made the adjustments. We actually came out in that third quarter, put up two touchdowns last year. And so the Steelers just took over in the second half. And I don't know what they did, but we had no answer for it. I mean, early on, the defense, I felt we knew both defenses were going to be tough, right? We just knew they would. I didn't think this would be a cakewalk, but I'll tell you why I felt good that we were going to win this game in a second here. But both defenses, I thought, played well. Buffalo, 10-0 at half, held Pittsburgh to 54 yards. In the second half, obviously, that all changed, and I'm not sure what that slight adjustment was. I thought in the pregame show with my buddy Troy, we talked about what was the path for the Steelers to win this game. And basically, he said, look, the only chance they're going to have is if Ben plays like old Ben. And to me, that's what happened. Ben took that team on his shoulders with all his experience and those young guys on the offensive line and took him to victory. I mean, he found this fountain of youth. I always said if Ben could find the fountain of youth, Pittsburgh's going to be the real deal. And that happened for this game. Now, I don't know how that offensive line for Pittsburgh was able to do it, but kudos to them. I mean, they started a rookie at center, a rookie at tackle, and they had a second-year guy, pretty much completely different line than they had last year, and they did the job incredibly. They actually took on that crowd noise. That was another thing that we had going for us, crowd noise. We also had the fact that they had a new offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, and so new system, but they did it. I mean, I really thought they were going to have to ground and pound, and they tried early on, but Buffalo's D shut that down. So kudos to Bills for shutting down the run, but they adjusted, and it was just a slugfest back and forth. Our offensive line, gosh, we did a very good job last year against TJ Watt. He came in obviously in the offseason, put some more muscle on, and he was ready to go. The guy got the big extension just a couple days before the game, had something to prove, and he proved it. They just, all across the board on that defensive line, like I said, they watched some film, and they put a scheme together, and they had the personnel to execute it. I don't think many teams could execute the scheme that they put together. Remember, they were a top 5 defense, maybe top 3 defense last year, and they brought that all back. Those corners stepped up, and my God, we just looked ordinary. I mean, I felt like we were last year's version of Ben. We couldn't throw the ball very far at all. and we just had no answers for what they came up with. So kudos to the Steelers, but and then again, guys, if you remember, I mean, this game was extremely close. That special teams play by the Steelers late in the game, block punt for the touchdown, that was the turning point. But the whole second half, the momentum had shifted, and we just couldn't get it back. And I'm not pressing any panic buttons, and neither should you. We played a good team. We know Pittsburgh's a great coached team, so we shouldn't be surprised that they played us tough. They played us tough last year, and they played us tough again this year. And they just happened to do the better adjustments at halftime. Now, I am concerned again because we had the crowd noise and they had the young offensive line. I was one of those guys. I wasn't saying it was going to be a cakewalk by any means, but I felt comfortable that we could pull this one out. And of course, there's a lot of people like me. We're out there. We're always going to make some type of prediction based on what we know, based on the data that we see. But again, this is why they play the games. So don't panic. I mean, this is one game, and maybe this is the kick in the butt we need early in the season versus later in the season. So let's get that out of the way. Let's go back, watch the film, see what they did wrong, make some adjustments, and we go to Miami next week. Believe it or not, Miami is in first place. They beat the Patriots in a close game, 17-16. So I fully expect us to make some adjustments and come out looking like the Bills like we saw last year against Miami. Miami is no cakewalk. They're going to be fired up for winning their first game against the Patriots. I had the Dolphins being a playoff contention team, a playoff contender, and I still believe that. So this is not going to be an easy game. So this will be a good rebound, good opportunity for us to get back in it. And we win this game, guess what? We're tied for first place, and we're on our way. So please, don't be, I see a lot of folks out there, oh man, this was embarrassing. I feel so bad for the people that were at the game. 70,000 waiting to get back for a very long time. And again, you guys did a great job. It was loud there. You did all that you could do to influence the game. Let's just say this. Ben put together one of his best performances in many, many years. He really did. I mean, in that one play, I forget what it was, 3rd and long or whatever, and he rushes and gets, I don't think he got the first down, but he got a good chunk of yardage. But the guy was giving it all he had, 18 years in the league, and again, he put that S on his chest and carried his team. And that's really what it was going to take to beat the Bills, and he did that. So I don't know what you guys thought. Again, I don't have a lot of data. I just wanted to come out here and talk about my frustrations and get some of yours. So let me just go around the clock here. So Josh looked nervous, and I don't know what it was. I think maybe, we'll start with the quarterback there. I think maybe with that big signing, that big contract, he wanted to come in and prove to everybody that he was worth the money he got, $258 million. And he is worth every penny of that. But he's young. He's young. And he came into that game super excited. And there's been some talk about when the fans are in the stadium and the crowd is loud, that he just gets a little too fired up. And that's just, with maturity, he'll learn to deal with that. And I think he'll learn a lot from this game. So he was fired up. He missed that one deep ball to Sanders early in the game. Sanders had his guys beat, and Josh's arm is just one of the strongest in the league, if not the strongest. And he was just fired up and threw that a little long. And I think for the rest of the game, he was frustrated. Steelers just put together a great scheme, and they were getting all kinds of pressure on him. And Josh many are going to say, wow, it's his fault. And to some degree, the quarterback always has to take a lot of the blame. But no, I'm going to blame the coaches on that one. I mean, you saw Singletary late in the game start running. Why didn't we run? Why didn't we run more? We're going to need to run more. People are starting to look at film and put schemes together against our great, our receiving core. We got to do something different. We got to switch it up. Look what Kansas City does. Everybody comes into against Kansas City and they try a similar scheme to shut down their passing game, it rarely works. But when it does work, the Chiefs switch gears. They switch gears and they start running the ball. And we just didn't do enough of that until late in the game. And so, again, I think Josh was just a little overhyped. I think we'll see a better Josh next week in Miami. And again, we win that game. We're tied for first. And we're off and running. I question a lot of the play calling from Dable. I mean, 4th and 1, I think we were at the 50-yard line, and we throw the ball 6 yards in the backfield, some type of trick play that we were trying to do. I get it. They felt they could get a big play off of that. We didn't need a big play. We needed a first down. 1 yard. 1 yard. And we come up with some crazy trick play that Steelers weren't having anything to do with it. So they shut that down real quick. So that was Josh. Again, super high, overhyped. Not overhyped. He was just too pumped up. He'll settle down. We'll see Josh Allen next week. And he's still going to have a fantastic year. So don't panic on that. Running back situation has always been a concern. I felt maybe that Singletary was looking great in preseason, but it's preseason. And they shut us down a little bit, but I don't think we ran enough. So we need to do more of that. I'm not sure why Zach Moss was inactive. I know he was a little banged up in the preseason, but he played in that final game. So I don't know why he was inactive. That could have helped. Breida really didn't do much. But again, I don't think we tried enough on that running game. So that's still a concern. Tight end, I thought Knox stepped up. I mean, he didn't have any drop passes. Anything that was thrown to him, he made the catch. So was super happy there. And on the wide receiver side, I don't know. Josh, Cole Beasley looked a little nervous off the get-go, dropping a few passes that he normally catches with ease. But he got in the flow. And again, I just think kudos to the Steelers. They came up with the defensive scheme that shut us down. And I hope, and you know what's going to happen, right? All the teams in the league are going to be looking at that, look at what they did. And they're going to try to mimic that. But in order to mimic that, you have to have the personnel, which the Steelers do. And I think the Bills will learn from it, and they'll make adjustments. And I do feel looks like we're going to probably meet the Steelers. If they continue to do what they did today, they're definitely going to be a playoff team. So we'll probably see them again. Offensive line, I give them a poor grade. I mean, we had the whole offensive line, all our starters returning from last year, and Pittsburgh took advantage of them. I mean, it was holding after holding after holding. Any type of positive play that we had was negated by a holding call, and that was so frustrating. They seemed to calm down a little bit later, but by then it was kind of too late. And there was still, Pittsburgh was continuously getting pressure on Josh. On the defensive side, I thought our defensive line did quite well. Again, it was 10-0 at halftime. And even in the second half, I felt we were doing a decent job. Now, a lot of you have always questioned Wallace as a cornerback too, and yes, I felt he got a little exposed. They attacked him. I thought Taron Johnson did a pretty good job out there today. He continues to impress me. But they'll figure something out. I feel the defensive line look good. They look good. I felt that the Tremaine Edmonds looked fine, made some good plays. Again, Pittsburgh has just a great scheme. Anytime Ben did drop back, and he dropped back, and he was in shotgun a lot more than people were saying. They felt that they were going to run the ball a lot more. And again, I said earlier, they did try to do that, but Buffalo's doing a good job at stopping the run. And Ben just, like I said, he put the S on his chest and took that team to a victory. So again, I think it was just a perfect game for them, and we're just gonna have to erase that, learn from it, and move forward. And I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. Again, I feel like forget that game. It's only game one. We have 16 other games to go. We can still go 15-1. I believe we'll get a win next week. It's going to be a big game. We definitely can't open up the season at 0-2. If 0-2, then we need turn the sirens on and start. No, I'm not going to say that. Don't hit the panic button at 0-2. Even if we did go to 0-2, which we won't. Anyhow, let me know what you guys think. I'm still struggling with it. It hurt. You know, I've gotten better over the years if the Bills lose, but when you have all this hype and when you looked at it on paper, there was no way we were going to lose this game. I know Pittsburgh was going to be tough, but I did not expect them to do what they did on offense in the second half with that young offensive line. That's only going to give them, you know, a lot more, I don't want to say courage, but it's just going to make that line even better. They're like, wow, we came into Buffalo and beat them. So all of a sudden that offensive line now is going to just take that and run with it for the rest of the year. And Ben will continue to coach them. You could see he was doing that, using that 18 years of experience that he has and really just coaching that offensive line and taking them to the next level. So again, folks, I don't see anyone on here. I just wanted to get out for a little bit. I'm not throwing out a bunch of numbers. I just wanted to go through all facets. I thought, again, the defensive line did okay. The linebackers did a good job. Defensive backs, no one got totally burnt. There was just good throws by Ben. And then the special teams, they had that one huge play, which was the difference in the game. So anyhow, we'll get back at it next week, and I expect a big win. And again, give me your thoughts, what you guys, where did we go wrong? What did we do wrong? And what do you expect to see next week? So I will see you next Sunday on the pregame show and the postgame show. Hopefully it's a different, hopefully it's a different mentality. Hopefully we're celebrating, and which I think we will. So again, thank you all for checking the channel out. Again, sorry, I'm a little down tonight. I'm sure all of you are, but don't hit the panic button, please. I don't want to see you guys out in the forums saying, oh man, the season's over. Hit the panic button. No, don't do that. You played a good team. Who came up with a good scheme, and Ben found the fountain of youth today. So don't hit the panic button. We'll be back. We're going to have a great season. We have a great team. Don't let today, make you jump off the bandwagon, which you should never jump off the bandwagon if you're a Bills fan. So anyhow, thank you again. I will talk to all of you soon. For those jumping on, again, leave some comments. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a nickel on that subscribe button. Comment, like. We have a huge giveaway coming up that's going to drop in the next 3 to 5 days. You're not going to want to miss that. I promise you. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure you hit that notification so that you're notified when that video does drop. So everyone, again, I'm Mike Thornton. I'm out till next week. Talk soon. Bye now.